The Network Verification Challenge website has been designed to enable participants to verify and enhance biological network models. The greater the number of scientific contributions you make to these models, the higher the probability that you'll be one of the best performers. Let's take a look at this in some more detail. There are a number of actions you can take to modify network models. One action is to create a new edge, where an edge is a relationship between biological entities known as nodes. The edge can be created between two existing nodes, from an existing node to a new one, or between two new nodes. Suppose you're familiar with the biological processes modelled in the B-cell network and know that CD40 decreases Casp3. You can then filter for the node CD40 and investigate whether this relationship has been captured. If not, click New Edge to add it. Each time you add an edge, you'll need to do two things: capture the relationship using Bell and justify the relationship by filling out an evidence form. If one or both of the nodes are missing, they'll need to be added as part of the Bell statement. Make sure you fill out the form thoroughly so that other participants can judge the merit of your contribution. The context should be filled out accurately, and a quotation from the reference that directly and obviously supports the edge and context needs to be provided. Keep in mind that references should be relevant to the edge and satisfy the network's boundary conditions. Another action is to add additional evidence to an existing edge. For instance, while browsing through the B-cell network, you may come across the relationship IRF5 increases PRDM1 and remember a related paper that you read the other week. You can now fill in an evidence form to further support this relationship. Finally, you can vote to approve or reject evidence for edges. Each time you want to do this, you'll have to choose one of three statements that best describes the evidence. The first says the evidence is relevant and was accurately extracted from the reference. This is most consistent with an approval. The third says the evidence is not relevant to the network, and this is most consistent with a disapproval. The second says the evidence is relevant but was not accurately extracted. Here you'll be asked two more questions. First, is the context correctly and completely captured? If not, this might still be reasonably approved, and you're encouraged to clone the evidence and provide the missing information. Second, is the Bell statement accurate? If not, then it is most consistent with a disapproval. So, to recap, the actions you can take are: create a new edge, create new evidence for an edge, and approve or reject evidence. That's it. The online verification process amounts to the sequence of actions that you and other participants take. Every evidence that receives enough votes is locked to further voting. If a locked evidence has a clear majority of approvals, the consensus is that the evidence is valid. The opposite is the case if there is a majority of disapprovals. If there isn't a clear majority either way, the evidence is classified as ambiguous. A selection of edges, primarily those that are only supported by ambiguous evidence, will be taken forward for discussion at a face-to-face jamboree after the online verification process has closed. Your success in this challenge is measured with reputation points that are awarded for all of the described actions. Extra reputation points are awarded if your action is approved, though if your action is disapproved, you'll lose the initial points for that action. The leaderboard lets you keep a tab on how your performance ranks against others. It displays the top participants overall and per network. You are also shown the scores of participants positioned immediately ahead and behind you. Although the leaderboard is subject to moderation, it should give you an idea of how much you need to do to get ahead in the challenge. Now you know how the online verification process works, how you can participate, and how you can be one of the best performers. Put the power of the crowd to the test by participating in the Network Verification Challenge. To find out more and to take part, visit www.sbvimprover.com.